Hello, Officer Thorson. Do you have some time for me?
Yes, I do. Officer Wallace.
So, is the Great Eastern Border secure?
Officer Wallace, you should know the answer for this.
Well, I know it is not possible to infiltrate our borders, but nobody really explained to us at the Peace Center how this was achieved.
Oh, so you are curious about the gadgets we use for border security?
Yes, that's it.
We used to have barbed wire and similar physical barriers to prevent illegal crossings, but those were very expensive to install and maintain. Plus, they did not provide enough security.
They didn't? How come?
Because people started digging tunnels underneath them. Then, the GPSN adopted the comprehensive approach for border security.
The comprehensive approach. What is that?
It is a defensive doctrine, stating that an infiltration may occur from the air, the sea, the underground, as well as from the surface of the land.
So, how do you control such infiltrations?
For land and air, we use heat-seeking and motion detectors. Moreover, we use a strong magnetic field to disable any unauthorized electronic devices. All of our own devices are immune to this field.
How about the underground?
We have seismic activity sensors, and these can detect any underground movement created by anything larger than a mole.
I'm totally impressed, Officer Thorson. I did not know so many instruments were involved in border security. None of this is even noticeable from the Peace Center building, which is right on the border.
Our doctrine states that all implementations should be transparent to the naked eye, so that countermeasures cannot be easily used.
Well, now I understand why it's not possible to sneak across our borders.
I can assure you, not even a sparrow can cross our border without us noticing it first. We were forced to implement all these electronic devices because the Great Eastern Border stretches over a very vast distance.
Just how long is this border?
Nearly 2,500 kilometers. It extends from the Black Sea to the Baltic Sea.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long.
As you can see from the map over there, it is the only lengthy and vulnerable land border we have.
What about the borders at the Pacific Rim and Scandinavia?
At the rim, we have a buffer zone to protect Hong Kong and its surroundings. In our Scandinavian region, there is a mountain range which creates a natural border with Russia.
Thank you for going into such detail.
You're welcome.
Officer Thorson, did you ever talk about your relationship with Captain Perez to anyone else?
No, but I was visited by a journalist from WXBG right after the accident.
A journalist? Did he ask anything specific about Captain Perez?
Yes, he did.
Such as?
He asked about Antonio's affection for me. I suppose he was thinking of creating a love story around the accident.
And how did you respond?
I just declined to make any comments at all. I didn't want our affair made public.
Then what did he do?
I don't know. I never saw any story about the accident in the news.
Can you tell me the name of the journalist that visited you?
Oh, let me try to remember. Yes, I believe his name was Brian Ainsworth from the WXBG News.
Ainsworth? Never heard of him.
I suppose he is one of the behind-the-scene investigative type journalists. He was pleasant enough.
So, did you tell this journalist about any of the intimate details of your relationship with Captain Perez?
Officer Wallace, of course not. And I certainly hope what I told you so far will only be used for your investigation.
You can trust me on that, officer. I will not disclose any information to unwarranted parties. First Lieutenant Thorson, you've been a great help to my investigation. Thanks so much. And goodbye.
Goodbye.
I should check out this journalist from WXBG News. PA, add WXBG News of Adrianopolis to my navigation map.
Now that's art in my book. I love what he can transform the human body into. My, oh my. This collection here must be worth a fortune. There it is. WXBG, 7th floor. A mediocre HDI for a newsman. Either he's not that trustworthy or business is low. This must be Mr. Ainsworth.
Hello, Mr. Ainsworth.
Yes, that's me. Who's asking?
My name is Phoenix Wallace. I'm a senior peace officer from the Peace Center, Mr. Ainsworth.
Nice to meet you. Call me Brian, please.
Oh, okay. You can call me Phoenix.
So, what brings you here, Phoenix?
Do you know a Captain Juan Antonio Perez?
Not personally, but yes, I know about him.
Then you must recall Captain Perez's death.
Sure, the plane accident case over Russian soil. Are you investigating his death?
No, I'm not. But Captain Perez's name came up in another case.
What case is that?
I cannot reveal that to you, Brian. It's ordered confidential by a judge.
I see. We understand confidentiality in the press. Besides, if you don't tell me about your case, how can I be helpful?
Okay. His name came up in a murder case.
Murder? Holy shit. In Andrianopolis?
No, in Russia. A man named Vasily Bogdanov from Adrianopolis was brutally murdered. And Captain Perez's service number was written on what appears to be a customer list.
You said written, right? Handwritten?
That's correct.
Hard to understand why some people get stuck with ancient traditions and never let go.
Who knows? So, what can you tell me about Captain Perez's death?
Well, his plane crashed into a mountainside in Russia, and he and the members of his crew were instantly killed.
Was he the commander of the aircraft?
Yes, he was, and I believe he was flying the plane at the time of the accident.
Were you able to obtain any flight recorder information?
No, I wasn't.
If you already knew about it, how come there was no news in your channel about it?
Well, GPSN made an official request. They cited national security reasons and asked us not to publish it.
And you instantly backed down?
GPSN is a colossal company, Phoenix. You know, you work for them. When they make such a request from a regional holovision channel like us, it's very hard to turn them down.
Are you worried that you may never get information from them again?
You are a clever one, Phoenix.
Is there anything you'd like to add about the crash?
Not really. I learned about the crash from one of my sources in Russia, then rushed to the military zone. But nobody there really cooperated. By the way, how did you come up with my name?
From First Lieutenant Thorson.
Oh, the Ice Queen.
That's not really politically correct, is it?
Oh, I'm sorry, Phoenix. I didn't mean any disrespect to Officer Thorson, but her appearance was so...
Cold?
Well, you said it.
Right, okay. You don't happen to have any media about this, do you?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Really? What do you have?
I have some crappy 2D footage of the crash site.
Footage of the crash site? Why do you call it crappy?
Because it is. It was shot in the dark, with no light source. You can't see a darn thing.
Can I have a copy of this footage, please?
Sure, I'll try to locate it for you and get a copy made.
I would really appreciate that, Brian.
How about I give it to you over dinner tonight? At Cafe Rosé?
All right. Around 10 okay with you?
Great!
You won't forget the footage, right?
Don't worry, Phoenix. I won't.
Well, see you later then. Bye.
Goodbye, Phoenix.
Wow, Phoenix. You got a date for tonight. You lucky devil. Wait till Sandra hears about this.
Hi, Piper.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you so soon.
Did you think Mr. Bogdanov had a problem fitting in?
What do you mean? Fitting in the elevator?
No, you smart aleck. Socially fitting in the World Union. Remember, he was a recent immigrant?
In that case, yes. He stuck out like a sore thumb. And now, I know the reason.
Can you elaborate how he had a so-called fitting in problem?
He was just a total geek. Dull, unsophisticated, and furthermore, unattractive. In my book, 3 strikes and you're out.
Ooh, aren't we harsh today?
You asked the question, you wanted the answer, Ms. Wallace.
Do you think Mr. Bogdanov's business was going well?
Yeah, he seemed to be rolling in the dough.
What makes you say that?
Recently, Mr. B had a newly developed tendency to brag about the places he went.
Recently? When?
Can't be specific, but let's just say that during the last 2 months, he has become arrogant and suddenly very confident.
You also mentioned places he bragged about.
Yeah, he was always dropping names about the fancy restaurants where he dined, or the clubs where he hung out here in the pyramid, like the Stardust, La Tita.
You think these were signs of a successful business?
Sure. How could the signs be any clearer?
To your knowledge, was Mr. Bogdanov involved in any other business ventures?
He kept mentioning some art consultancy deal with some artist guy.
Do you know if this art consultancy was going well?
That's what he kept saying. His newly acquired status wasn't from the thing store sales, that's for sure.
How can you be so sure?
'Cause I am a sales clerk, and I know our sales curve has been very flat in the last quarter.
You don't sound convinced about this art consultancy deal.
What can I say? Mr. B didn't seem to have a background in art at all. He certainly wasn't the artsy-fartsy type.
So, let's hear your theory about his sudden wealth.
My theory? I think there was something fishy going on. I saw one of his foreign buddies bring in some stuff that we never displayed in the store. The boxes were taken straight up to his office.
What do you think was in those boxes?
Don't ask me. We weren't told anything about those boxes, and we were never welcomed in Mr. B's office in the upper level. Unless, of course, we were willing to...
Willing to what?
Never mind.
Tell me what you do know about those boxes.
I have no idea what was inside those boxes, but I overheard something about customers renting their contents.
And which customers are you referring to?
The ones he would take up to his office, and later he would tell us that he had just made some big art consultancy deal. Ha! My foot! He was lying through his teeth.
I think I have all I need from you. You've been a great help, Piper. Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye!
Finally, I was able to get some useful information from somebody at the thing store. I know it's late, but I need to report my findings to Chief Morrison.
You better have a good reason for bringing me here this late.
Piper Darlington told me that Bogdanov's newly acquired wealth couldn't have been from thing store sales. She insists that the sales curve of the store had been flat in the last quarter. Moreover, Piper isn't convinced about Bogdanov's art consultancy business at all.
Is that right? So, does Miss Piper have a theory about Bogdanov's wealth?
As a matter of fact, she does. Piper claims that Bogdanov's art consultancy can be a cover for something else.
Such as?
Evidently, some of Bogdanov's foreign buddies had brought some merchandise to the store. This merchandise was never displayed. Apparently, these boxes were taken straight up to Bogdanov's office.
Does Piper know what was inside those boxes?
No, she doesn't. However, she overheard something about certain customers renting the contents of these boxes.
Which certain customers?
I don't know yet. Evidently, after taking these customers up to his office, Bogdanov would later tell everyone that he had just made a big art consultancy deal. However, Piper thinks he was lying about these deals.
Do you think he was lying?
Perhaps he was. I should visit the Thing Store's headquarters at the business district and check the store's rental figures.
Keep me posted on what you find out. I only have a little time. Continue.
I met Brian Ainsworth, a journalist from WXPG Holovision channel. I found him through a lead that I got from Ulrika Thorsen.
Ulrika Thorsen and Brian Ainsworth, Phoenix? Are you sure these people have anything to do with the case? You know very well that GPSN policies are very strict about using discretion during an investigation. We are not to disturb citizens who have nothing to do with the case.
But I'm sure that these two are connected to the case, Chief.
You'd better be.
Brian Ainsworth was very willing to speak with me about the death of Captain Perez. He behaved as a very responsible Union citizen and was eager to help me with my investigation. He was also curious to know about the Bogdanov case. When I told him that it was ordered confidential by a judge, he pushed me for some details, exclaiming that he couldn't be helpful with the Perez case without knowing a few details about the Bogdanov case. I thought he had a point, so I decided that I could share some limited details with him.
Oh, please, Phoenix, will you get to the point?
Pardon me, Chief. I thought you would want to hear all of this. I have nothing further to mention at this time. PA, add Thing Store chain headquarters at Adrianopolis Business District to my navigation map.
What should I wear? I gotta run. I'm getting late.
I really enjoyed that food.
I told you I know the best dishes here, didn't I?
You certainly did.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yes. You have the media with you, right?
I located it, but there wasn't enough time to get a copy. I'm really sorry, Phoenix. I will get you a copy tomorrow.
Okay.
Would you like to finish this wonderful evening with a drink in my apartment?
That could be interesting.
I have the best Syntho wines in stock.
That's really tempting.
Let's go then, shall we?
Okay, let's go.
Well, that was sort of ordinary. Then again, what's new about that, Phoenix? Oh, that looks like a video disc. I bet it's the footage. I better leave now. I only have enough time to go home, change, and head back to work. Oh, that looks like a video disc. I bet it's the footage. Oh man, I feel totally knackered. But I think Sandra won't tease me for a while. I even got the footage. Crappy as Brian said it was, maybe I could get some help for it.